Apparently, us Nintendo Switch 2 gamers are a bunch of miserable buggers that don't have any joy in their life because an analyst has claimed that unprecedented Nintendo Switch 2 hype is caused by desperation to feel any amount of joy in our lives whatsoever. Do you agree with them? Let me know. But first, click the like, subscribe, click the bell icon. We cover Switch 2 every day on this channel, multiple times a day. So if you want to stay on the tip of the spear, the bleeding edge of Switch 2 news, then please like and subscribe. It really helps out. I'm Blaze. If you haven't secured a pre-order, go check out our 24-hour stock tracking stream, link in the description and on my channel page. It's a cool place that has an alarm system that will let you know if we get that second wave and where it's dropping. So keep it up in the background. It's really useful. And we have a great community. If you just want to chat about Switch 2 or ask any questions, right? I'll be there every day, all day. And on top of the video, or below the video, or next to the video, we'll have links, these YouTube shopping links, to the microSD cards to where they're actually available to pre-order right now. The 256GB SanDisk, 128GB SanDisk, and the 1TB Lexar Play Pro. And as you know, the reason you know a micro SD is compatible with the Switch 2 is if it has this little EX icon. Like I says, these are the only two retailers right now that consistently allow you to order these things. Adorama is a trustworthy brand, has been for a long time. SanDisk.com themselves, obviously the creators of the SanDisk micro SD, they're available right now. 256GB is a good budget option for you, $71.99. It's less than the Switch 2 game, so definitely think about getting that. And if you want to go extreme, get the 1TB that'll last you forever. You know, you could order that too. So links down below, go check them out. And also check our links in the video description for the best Switch 2 accessories. Now is the perfect time to get your hands on some Switch 2 gear. And I've got the link to the JSOX page for the Switch 2 where you can get your hands on some really great accessories. Go check my accessories video that I posted a few days ago. But without further ado, let's get into this bugger that was basically crap talking us Switch 2 fans here, saying that we're desperate for any amount of joy. Let's see what he's got to say. So the Switch 2 is predicted around the world to become the biggest console launch of all time, smashing past the demand for PS4 and PS5. Nintendo grossly underestimated the demand for its console and hype, even managing to cause micro SD express cards to sell out everywhere. As I said at the start of the video, links should be somewhere on this page for the YouTube products shopping list. It should either be hovering in the bottom left of the video, underneath the video, in the description, etc. So go check them out and get your hands on one while you're still able to order them. It's clear that there's a lot of hype surrounding the new handheld, and while there are still some issues, such as the price of games, let's be honest, that is a pretty big issue. $80, $90, $100 for games, Nintendo games of that, pretty crazy. It's a sign of the times we're living in. Game key cards are a tad depressing, not gonna lie, they are. There's no doubt that a release of Switch 2 is going to be ginormous, but why are gamers looking forward to a new piece of hardware? Because the world is just so damn horrible. We're waiting for an escape, as according to Video Gamer, which is kind of true. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of us, you know, life is pretty hard for a lot of people, you know, and people want to escape, whether it's into video games, movies, TV, or just their hobbies, right? It takes your mind off the way everything is, and you know, that is partly true. According to longtime games industry analyst and Circana Games lead Matt Piscatella, the Switch 2 launch will succeed simply because Nintendo brings people a lot of joy. I mean, everyone in their right mind will likely nab the Mario Kart World bundle and race as a cow on a motorbike. That's enough for me to forget about worldwide politics for an hour or two. It's been so long since we've had a new console hardware platform, Piscatella told Games Radar in a recent interview. It's been years, it's been a long time, and people are looking for things to kind of get their mind off of what's going on elsewhere. We can even see it online, just the desire people have to have something to be excited about. I don't know, maybe it's just my own perspective, but I just see this palpable desperation in a sense of wanting to find something to bring joy. Piscatella explained that people are locking onto the launch of the new handheld in this period of constant bad news. While the analyst admitted that the launch lineup for the system isn't the strongest, he also claimed that it doesn't really matter all that much. The monkey brings joy, the monkey has my money. I think the thing with this is that you have such enthusiastic, dedicated audience that I don't think the launch lineup matters at all, the analyst explained. What matters, I think, is the lineup as it looks 6 months in, when you have to start really trying to go after the more mass market or console enthusiast buyer, not just the Nintendo dedicated fan, because that person is going to buy this thing no matter what. The analyst said that the launch window truly matters in holiday, a period when the system will have Donkey Kong Bonanza, hell yeah, and Metroid Prime 4 in a holiday slot. Now, without GTA 6, there's a lot of space for Nintendo to win the pre-Christmas period as well. I mean, come on, there's even a solid-looking Pokemon game on the way. They'll be printing money. So, do you agree with Circana Games lead Matt Piscatella? Let me know in the comment section. I think it hits home in a lot of ways, this article. People are depressed a little bit. depends on your definition of the depressed, but there is constant feed of bad news, politics, world events that are just dragging a lot of people down. Obviously, inflation, monetarily, a lot of people are struggling. And I will say that Switch 2 isn't good in terms of that, because we have seen a massive price rise. It is $450, $500 for the bundle, and games are pushing up, $80. Even our escape from world events and politics costs us in some sort of way, right? Because we are having to pay exorbitant amounts to escape. So we're having to become poorer to escape the misery that is the world. But let me know if you agree. Let's see what people on social media, or at least Reddit, have to say, right? Nintendo and world catastrophe go hand in hand. I'm just out here desperate to feel joy. How hard is it to understand that people can be happy for a new console? I mean, a lot of us, our childhood, when we grew up, obviously, it was a big thing. Consoles were a big thing. Video games were a big thing. And it was a moment of joy in our life. As kids, it's our childhood. A lot of nostalgia around gaming and consoles. So I think a lot of that stuck with us. And I think we've seen the type of consumer change for video games. Obviously, I was looking at a lot of one thing I said to my wife was look at a lot of these videos on YouTube where people are going to GameStop to pre-order the Switch 2. Back in the 90s or the 80s, a majority of the people would be parents going out to buy a console for their kids, right? It'd be mainly parents lining up to buy a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. But nowadays, if you look at the line, it's all people lining up to buy the console, and they're all in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, some case 60s, right? The demographic for video games has obviously got older as we've got older, and I think if you grew up in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s and stuff like that, obviously that's the generation that hasn't left gaming behind and that still obsesses over gaming and still enjoys gaming, and it brings us back to memories of like easier times and happier times, right? So I don't fault anyone for that. Bro learned about escapism and feels enlightened. Poggers. The world feels like it's going to hell. A lot of people are feeling scared and helpless. We're living through crazy times. Nothing wrong with being excited and happy for something for a change. Absolutely. That title's terrible, but I agree with the article to an extent. I personally have been using the Switch 2 hype as a kind of a distraction from politics right now, especially since I'm American. I mean, I would have still bought one no matter what, but I do agree a little bit. Honestly, true, this is the biggest thing I'm looking forward to for the foreseeable future. Unprecedented amount of Nintendo Switch 2 inflammatory takes from industry analysts and influencers caused by desperation to feel any amount of fame, claims me. Yeah, as an American, any sort of title, a little joy or distraction is greatly welcomed at this point. Glad I got a pre-order. A few Strawberry here says, unprecedented? Every time a new console comes out, people are hyped and feel joyful and can't wait to play the new stuff. Granted, the gaming world has exploded and expanded in the last 15 years, but people were always happy to play more of their favorite stuff. Some of the biggest hypes I have seen were like the Halo reveals, Zelda reveals, Smash Bros, of course, and there's a lot more stuff. I think part of it as well is just because, people have been wanting a new Switch for years. I remember back in 2020, 2021, people were talking about the Switch 2. In fact, after the Switch 1 came out, there were YouTubers and video, articles written about what's the Switch 2 going to have, when's the Switch 2 coming out. As soon as something new comes out, people are already talking about the next thing, and the hype train has been going since 2021. At least it picked up in 2021. We started seeing, is the Switch going to come out this year, the Switch 2? Is it going to come out in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and we finally got here to the Switch 2. There's been a lot of pent-up demand and excitement for the Switch 2, not just because we're all miserable and we're, desperate for some joy, even though that is partly the truth. Let's be honest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think it's just pent-up demand. I think we've been waiting for this for a long time. Granted, it's not the reveal I was expecting or hoping for it to be. I was kind of hoping we'd get more first-party games, a stronger launch lineup. But we are where we are. We have what we have, and I still think we're going to get some surprises later this year as far as first-party games are concerned. Obviously, they've been kind of stum about first-party games. You obviously got Metroid, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which are great. Not taking anything away from that. And they're also sort of leaning on the fact that a lot of third-party developers and studios are going to be supporting the Switch 2 this time around. As you know, Nintendo's strong suit has never been getting massive third-party support, right? We've always assumed that, it's mainly going to be the first-party titles that we're going to enjoy. And I think that's going to still hold true, but I think because they've got that they've got more support from third-party studios and developers and publishers. I think they're taking it, they're leaning back and saying, hey, we could stretch out our first-party games a little bit more. We could maybe focus on releasing some new ones and spreading them out across the next couple of years instead of just going absolutely ham and, unleashing everything at once. And I think that's the smart play for Nintendo, right? It keeps people interested, keeps people engaged, and I'm all for it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'm Blaze2K. This is my take on Nintendo Switch 2. Every day, multiple times a day. Come say hi, come like, subscribe, click the bell icon if you can. It really helps out a lot. It only takes a second. If you don't want to, that's okay too. I don't mind. Check out our 24-hour stock tracking stream. It's a cool place to hang out, chat with fellow Nintendo Switch 2 fans, get hyped up for Switch 2, count down the days, the seconds, the hours, the minutes. Check our stock tracker stream, stock tracker that plays a loud alert if we do get a second wave of pre-orders. Check all the latest news on the right hand side, and yeah, chat with our awesome little community here in the live chat. It's a good place to be. Anyways, have a wonderful day, enjoy the rest of your week. I'm Blaze, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.